Hello, hello. What's up, guys? Welcome back to everyone's favorite MMA podcast. You're watching The Couch Casuals. I'm here with my beautiful host, Kyle Diorio, and we're going to break into UFC 294. Islam Makhachev versus Charles Oliveira, and Paulo Costa versus Khamzat.
Wait.
Is that the lineup?
That's the pay-per-view, right? That's what we've been hyped for all year, right?
UFC 294. We've been waiting. We haven't done a show in a while, right?
It's been a hot minute. The Dagestanis versus the Brazilians, right? That's the whole gimmick. That's the show. Nothing could happen, right?
I wouldn't think so. But Kyle, now that I'm thinking about it, I think something happened.
I've got some breaking news.
We have breaking news right here on the Couch Casuals.
Oh my God. Paulo Costa just had surgery. Dana's pulling him from the fight. Who's going to get they're going to save the card. Paulo Costa's gone.
What other middleweight can fight Khamzat Chimaev?
Wait a second. It's not a middleweight. It's going to be his middleweight debut. The Nigerian Nightmare. Kamaru Usman.
No knees Kamaru?
No knees Kamaru, dude.
That's insane to me.
Oh, man. They dodged a bullet. They almost ruined the whole pay-per-view.
When I tell you, I'll tell the fans as well, the friends that we have, it was the 11th hour. And all of this, like the whole card started falling apart.
1 week ago. And we haven't even covered the bigger part of it.
Well, no, because Charlie Olives is still okay, right? It was just the co-main that fell out, right? Oh,
Charlie.
Kyle, I'm getting an update.
Oh, no.
I'm getting an update.
Oh, no.
Charlie Olives is out with a cut over his eyebrow.
What?
Islam,
Two fights.
Islam has no one to fight.
Oh, my God.
Wait
a second.
Wait
a second.
Stepping in for Charles Oliveira on the 11th hour, Alexander the Great Volkanovski.
Ausi.
Imagine that. He gets a rematch on 10 days notice practically.
10 days notice. Man.
This is going to be one of the craziest UFC weekends that we've had. I'd say arguably. There's still a lot left to unfold. There's still a lot left to unfold. But do you remember the Khabib Tony weekend?
Yeah. Well, I was going to say the last crazy one, more recent, was the Khamzat's last card.
Where he missed weight by 8 pounds?
Yeah, and the whole fucking card just got shredded up. Khamzat's a curse. I mean, this was not his fault, but it still could be.
Khamzat the Curse Chimaev.
He can still fuck this up, right?
I mean, I would hope not. You can't. If you miss, let's see. Let's do the math here. We're not mathematicians, but let's do the math.
Definitely not.
If you miss welterweight by 8 pounds, that's 170, and you weighed in at 178.5, I think.
Come on, you got to make 185.
You have to make 185. And
I mean, I thought, to be honest with you, I thought Costa was done with middleweight after his last debacle. And they fought at almost light heavyweight. Did fight at light heavyweight.
There's been, I think they've all four of the OG, let me pull up the OG card. All 4 of the OG members have missed weight before. So Dana White was sweating during this weigh-in. Or he would have been.
What? Yeah. I mean, he still could be because, anything could still happen.
Anything could happen. I'm ready to make 185 right now, dude.
Dude, put me in. I'll make 185. I'll make 155 if I have to. I couldn't make 155.
I can make 155, but I would.
You make 155, I take 185.
I would look like a skeleton. And who do I fight? Who falls out? Islam? I'd rather fight Islam than fight Alex. But anyways, getting into the card itself, I have a shout.
Yeah, we got a lot.
I have a shout out to a prelim fight. That's Muhammad Mokaev versus Tim Elliott. That should be an exciting fight.
Should be.
Should be. You never know. And
Probably will be. Let's be honest.
when you have Eminem, that's what I like to call him. It's my first time calling him that. But when you have Muhammad Mokaev, he's just he's a young prospect on the younger side, and he steals the show. Whether it's a submission, I think his last fight went to a decision, or it got finished right before it was about to be a decision. I'm not sure.
Mokaev?
Yeah, Mokaev.
Let me look at it while you talk.
And he's facing a vet in Tim Elliott. Now, the closest thing I have to remember...
Submission, 4:30 in the final round.
I'm telling you.
So, it was right there.
It was about... That's that noggin, bro. It was about to go to a decision, and I was like, I guess the hype isn't real. I was so fair weather about it. And then he finished him. So what can I say? Like, it was about to go to the judges, and I really don't remember who was going to win, but he didn't need the judges.
I don't either.
He didn't need the judges.
I feel like I thought Philo was... How many Philos... You know what? Never mind. We're not going to talk about that fight. There's no point. That was months ago.
And like I said, you have a veteran in Tim Elliott, which I don't feel like they're feeding him to the wolves, but this is just the
It seems a little bit like that.
I guess it's just,
like just a touch.
Check his experience, like just to see if he can level up.
It says Mokaev is fighting out of the United Kingdom, but with the name like Muhammad Mokaev and a beard like that chin strap he's got, we know.
I think
all the fight fans know.
He trains with Gustafsson and them down in Sweden, no?
Sweden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So, that being said, that's the only prelim that I really want to shout out. I don't know if you know anybody else.
I don't really casual, but I don't recognize a lot of the people on the prelims.
Maybe maybe like fight wise, but like name wise, bro. Name wise, this card gets crazy. So
yeah, like right after that, I mean the first two fights on the main card, I'll be honest with you, I only know 1 out of 4 of these fighters. Mm-hmm. So that's not a great start for a casual, but I'm here, I'm casual, I'm ready to go. So
is it Saeed? Is that the one you know?
That's the one I know.
Yeah,
that's the only one I know out of the next 4 names we're going to talk about. So my analysis on the next 2 fights is going to be absolute dog shit.
Well, we can just put bragging rights up.
I mean, bragging rights are always up, right? So let's get into it. First fight I see listed on my page is Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Muin Gafurov. I hope I said that right. I think that was pretty good.
We're basically going to be substitute teachers here, so just let me know if you get a name wrong.
Yeah. Again, like I said, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen Muin Gafurov fight before. Mm-hmm. Saeed is what? Like Habib's cousin or something?
I want to say that there's no relation. I don't know that.
It's maybe 5th cousin removed, something like that.
There's some Bellator. If anyone out there knows what Bellator is, there's some Bellator fighters that are Nurmagomedovs, and they don't have any relation to Habib.
I feel like Nurmagomedov is just like the Johnson of the Dagestani mountains, Like it's just a dime a dozen up there. Yeah.
I haven't seen Muin. I haven't seen much of Muin, if any. But
I can't recall a fight I've seen of his. Oh well, here's why. He's only got 1 fight in the UFC, and he lost to a guy named John Castaneda.
I know John Castaneda.
I feel like I know that name. If that's his only fight in the UFC, it feels weird that he's in this spot. I feel like this card is incredibly top heavy.
I'd say.
I'm not saying these fights are going to be bad. It's just name wise, I don't know these guys.
Well, you have to go. What the UFC does is they go based off of origin, like so it's like all of these, I guess Middle Eastern people or Middle Eastern fans rather. I believe they know most of these fighters.
That's probably fair. That's a probably fair assumption there. They got at least there's a Russian fighter in every fight. Mm-hmm. Hamzat is listed as fighting out of the United Arab Emirates now. So he'll probably come into a big pop.
If you told me that there was a Nurmagomedov on this card, I don't know how I would bet against him. So I got Saeed. Simple,
I
casual,
mean,
good, easy pick.
if I hear that name and then I don't know who the other guy is, yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Nurmagomedov. I think it's easy MMA math.
Prayers out to Muin. We'll see what you got, brother.
We'll see.
Next
Let's
fight
go 0-2.
is Ikram
Aliskerov
versus Warley Alves. I mean, this is.
I don't know these guys.
A lot of analysts. This is just from my personal experience. A lot of analysts will say this is a pick-me fight. Nobody truly knows.
Yeah, no, we don't. I definitely don't. Alves is coming off a 2-fight losing streak.
Oh,
in the UFC. Ikram Aliskerov is coming out. He's got 1 fight in the UFC, which was a win. Maybe trying to feed a young up and coming Russian a little gimme fight, maybe.
I mean, they
got
got
the vibes you get in here.
They gotta show out, dude. They gotta show out.
He beat Phil Hawes.
Oh, did he?
That's not an easy fight to just come into the UFC and just win.
No, Phil Hawes is a monster.
Yeah, so like that's kind of impressive. And he beat him in the first round too. 2 minutes. 2 minutes in.
Ikram?
That's impressive. Yeah, Ikram. I have to sit back and watch it. Maybe I should have watched it before this fight or this paper or this podcast.
His breakdown.
Can't speak. But Warley Alves. I've never heard of him. And with a name like Warley, I think I would have remembered.
I just don't understand. Like, shout out to Warley. Shout out to Muin. When you get the call, and you know where you're fighting. They know where they're fighting.
Yeah, they know.
And then when they have a name like that, you're just like, well,
ooh, fuck. I guess I'll take it.
I need $15K.
I need that money. I mean, looking at Alves' record, I just noticed as well. He did fight this year, but prior to his fight this year, he had not fought since 2021. So he had at least taken a whole year off, which I don't know why. Maybe there's a reason, but that's probably why we're not familiar with the name.
All right. Well, I got Ikram.
Yeah, I'm going with Ikram.
We haven't been divided so far because we're trying to be logical about this. I don't know if these are casual takes necessarily.
I think these are pretty expert picks, really. I feel like we're
on to something.
For guys who've never seen some of these fighters fight, we're breaking it down pretty well.
Now, we got this next one, though, and I feel like we might be divided, depending on who you go with.
Now we're kind of getting to the names. We all know the names we have opinions on, and a fucking fun fight at light heavyweight with Ankalaev and Johnny Walker, two wily veterans.
When's the last time you watched Johnny Walker fight?
I'd have been in Charlotte when he beat up Anthony Smith, making up fucking Anthony Smith. I saw a comment about Anthony Smith, and it really sums up why I'm not a big fan of him. He literally just comes up with beef. Like, he's always just beefing with somebody, and they're like, what?
Are you talking about when you talking about Johnny?
Well, the Johnny thing was weird. Let's be honest. The Johnny thing was a little weird, but
he kicked him in the nuts. That's what he meant. It was a metaphor.
Well, there was also the thing with Ryan Spann. Like, he just started talking shit to Ryan Spann, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't remember that clearly. I remember when he got punched in the eye by a weird left that Ryan Spann had, and his eye was bulbous. But he ended up, pulling it out.
I'm just not a fan of Anthony Smith.
You guys are twins. What are you talking about?
Maybe that's why.
Anyways,
he just seems like such a douchebag.
You're prettier.
Thank you.
I got Johnny. He's
ooh.
Yeah. I say
that's
that
interesting
because I think it was Magomed Ankalaev and Polish Power.
Yeah, Jan
Blachowicz.
in the draw.
in
That was
the
very well.
boring, bro.
It was a little boring, but like I think that was probably the most accurate draw like I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'd say there were a lot of leg kicks in that fight.
A lot of leg kicks. It's probably why he's taking so much time off.
I mean, once that leg is
Almost a
damaged,
year.
almost.
Almost a year.
I mean, and then you got Johnny Walker, which is the weirdest 205er out there. And when I say weird, I mean
Absolutely.
it complimentary. Don't anybody mess up my
No,
translation.
yeah, weird is not a bad thing. And he's on a bit of a I don't want to call it a comeback. I mean, he's been in the UFC for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And he had some skids, where he didn't do so hot, but like the last couple of years, he's got one loss against the man who was light heavyweight champion, Jamal Hill.
I mean, if that title's not taken from you and you just give it up, I think there should be some lineal kind of feelings towards that championship. Like,
Yeah, Jamal Hill and Yuri
Prohaska, dude.
Yeah, I'm fucking all these Polish names. Yuri. Neither of those guys lost. I hope to see them both fight.
I think they're going
soon.
to. Well, after Yuri blitzes through, what's his name? Who is Yuri fighting?
Let me look it up because that escaped me as well.
Super casuals.
Yuri Prohaska is fighting.
Oh, I'm trying to get it before you get it.
God, we're so bad at this. What? Who is he fighting? Yeah, Alex.
Ah, damn it.
That's why. You know what? I'm going to say that's why we forgot, just because Alex has only been in the light heavyweight division for one fight.
That's gonna be a banger, but that's for another card.
yeah.
That's for another card.
Yeah.
I got Johnny, bro.
Ooh.
Because
I'm rolling. I got to roll with Magomed Ankalaev on this fight.
wow, so we differ.
We finally got a little differentiation here. I do think Ankalaev probably a little bit better. Like, yeah, Johnny's got some good wins, weird wins.
Ankalaev's too timid. He doesn't go, and Johnny doesn't.
No, but
Johnny doesn't have to be told to go. Johnny's going before you tell him to go.
Ankalaev has beaten Anthony Smith and Santos, Ozdemir. Like, I don't know. Ankalaev's is. I mean, yeah, he's not an exciting fighter. That doesn't mean he's not a good fighter.
Yeah, I guess I got to give it to Abe Lincoln, but
Yeah.
I'm still going with my boy Johnny, and
All right.
we'll see. That'll start the bragging rights of the night.
I want to make a prediction that that's the only one we're going to differ on. Maybe.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I think we might be in tandem on the next two. If anyone doesn't know, if you don't know who my last pick is going to be, just look behind me. But that's for a couple of minutes from now.
It's Kyle's boy. Go ahead. Set us up with the next fight.
All right, the co-main. Like I said in the beginning, we have the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman making his middleweight debut against Khamzat Chimaev. This is going to be a rowdy fight. This is going to be a fun fight.
I'd say. And anybody thinking that Khamzat is just going to run through Kamaru, I get your point of view. I get that. But if you go back and which was at a different weight class, I get it. But if you watch the Gilbert Burns fight, when you get to the upper echelon of top contenders, shout out to Li Jinliang, but it just was like he wasn't up there.
Ew.
Or when you think about Kevin Holland, he is up there, but he's not like the upper echelon. He's not top 3 welterweights. He's not top 3 middleweights. It's just not gonna go down.
It's different.
How it's been going down.
It's not going to just be like an over. Not the same way.
No.
Kamaru Usman has the highest takedown defense in UFC history, I believe.
I, be-
After a certain number of takedowns,
I believe so.
Hamzat's never been taken down. So we could see one of two things. We could see like this really crazy who's going to take who down,
Mm-hmm.
or we could see almost no attempts. We could see a lot of just boxing, kickboxing. This one's gonna play out. This one's gonna be interesting, especially with Kamaru taking it on as well. Another 11-day, 10-day notice, moving up, which could be good. Maybe moving up is a good thing for him because he's so big at welterweight.
Huge.
He's got to be cutting. I don't know what he walks around at, like most people. You kind of hear about it, but I don't feel like I ever hear people talk about what Kamaru just walks around at.
Let me ask you a question. Who do you think has better striking?
I would probably give that to Chimaev, but
Really?
I would. I mean, I think it's close. I mean, a lot of Kamaru's wins have been mostly wrestle heavy, and that's not a bad thing. He's clearly got the boxing and the power. He's knocked out the unknockoutable Jorge Masvidal.
Drop Colby.
Fucking broke Colby's jaw.
Well, that's to be determined. Nobody truly
It's not
knows.
Anyway, maybe see this one. That's like so close to me. That's really so close.
Who do you got?
I think I'm rolling with Boers.
So we differentiate again because I got the nightmare. I got Kamaru Usman.
That's what I'm really torn on. I really like this one's not like I'm just picking Chimaev completely 100% confident in the pick.
It's only 3 rounds.
It's only 3 rounds. I mean, it's going to be fun. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I think Usman didn't look amazing in Leon 2. I don't know if he was like a little wary or what, but yeah, I didn't think he looked great. I don't know. You know,
Well, he was going against.
We'll see.
He was going against an elite level striker, and he knew that.
He was,
and he was going against.
he dolled in the first fight.
He's going against
Until the knockout.
an elite level striker that flatlined him. So
That knockout changed the course of that, like in such a crazy way. It's truly amazing what that knockout did to the welterweight division.
and now you're getting the fight that everyone wants. I'm speaking for everyone, and you're getting the fight that the
They've-
world deserves.
I've been wanting this fight. I didn't want this fight. I like watching Hamzat. I like watching Kamaru Usman most of the time. Now, he used to be really boring, but
Yeah.
usually when I hear a Usman fight now, I get pretty hyped. Yeah, I'm sticking with Chimaev. We're going Boers.
I had a lot of confidence in Paulo Costa. Shout out to Paulo Costa, Borrachinha. But I kind of felt like I was leaning towards Hamza. I was just like, yeah, okay, well, Paulo's big and he's strong. His striking's not that great, but he's not going to be scared of Hamza. And
No.
then when this fight got announced with Kamaru, I was like, I really like those odds. I really like those chances. So much so
It's a good fight.
that I'm just going with Kamaru. The takedown defense is there. The striking is there. I don't know about the size. The size is going to be interesting to me, but
I want to see how they look together.
100%.
I want to see what it looks like, especially at Kamaru at 185. It's a big difference.
I hope so. I hope they put a side-by-side picture. I want to see him.
The dude's just so big. I feel like if he wanted to fight at 205, he probably could.
That's what he was talking about. He was talking about skipping
Was he?
185. Yeah, when
Wow.
he was.
When Israel was still champ?
Yeah, he's like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm going straight to
Well, now-
205.
Well, we know Israel's taking some time off, so who knows? Maybe we'll see the new middleweight king start his rise this Saturday.
Well, Dana confirmed it, and it's not breaking news from the Couch Casuals, but I don't know if anybody else has this
We're
information.
breaking it.
the winner of this fight gets the 185 title shot.
Really? Hell yeah.
For taking it on short notice. Both of them really did, because Hamzat is like...
It's equally short notice for the other guy, too.
Yeah.
Yes, he's probably more actively trained, but it's different.
New opponent.
He's probably not training for as much wrestling defense against Paulo Costa. So, we'll see.
All right. Well, before we get into the main event, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Hope so. Did this fight card get better?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. I was already hyped for it.
Same.
And I think there's probably an argument that a lot of people, there's probably a good contingent of people that would have rather seen Charles get the rematch because he deserved it. And I love Charles too. But for me, Volkanovski's my boy. I like Paulo Costa, but the level of competition Usman brings is higher than Costa.
The level of dumbassness, and that's how, I know that's not even a word, but the level of dumbassness that Paulo had for even posting that he had a surgery. Let the doctors find that out. Let there be some kind of
smart man.
Let there be some kind of investigation or something. Don't just say hey, by the way, if I lose, I did just get surgery 3 weeks ago. You fucking idiot. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's why you're not fighting. Someone compared Paulo Costa's current career trajectory to God, what's his name? I love him. This is the episode of bad name memory. Hamzat's friend.
Oh,
used to
Darren
be friend. Darren Till. Similar trajectory. Skyrocket to a title fight. Lose title fight. Go on a big skid. Have some injury problems. It's just, he was Paulo Costa looked like a world beater prior to Israel. Now he's just kind of like a meme lord.
I mean, he's funny.
He is hilarious.
But what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing, dude? On to the main event.
Ausi, Ausi, Ausi!
Oi, oi, oi! We got Islam Makhachev versus Volkanovski 2. Now, a lot of people would say, including us, that this is Volkanovski's second shot, and a lot of people are saying this is his last shot. So when you say, oh, it's 11 days notice, he's still the featherweight champ if he loses, he doesn't have that much to lose.
It's a big risk.
I think it's a big risk. It's a big risk on Islam.
This is his last chance.
But I agree. This is his last shot at the double champ, because nobody wants to see him at 170, and he's not. He's so big, dude. He's not going down to 135. No. So that if Islam is the champ, probably if he beats Alex, he's probably going to be champ for a while. So
I don't
see anybody else beating him.
The only other person I see potentially having a chance is Charles,
or Patty the Batty. Shout out to anyway,
Patty. This is a big risk for Alex. Even if it goes the way as the last fight and it's super close and people argue Alex won, he doesn't just get back in there if it's another loss.
No.
He doesn't just get it back. It would have to be some crazy circumstances.
Ooh, does Islam get a rematch if he loses?
Yeah, I think he probably will.
You think so?
Yeah.
Immediate?
If he wants it. There's money to be made there.
For sure. Shout out
trilogy.
Shout out to Ariel Helwani in the MMA Hour. Alex was on there today saying that he wants to fight Ilia Topuria. I always want to call him Tilapia. He wants to fight him in January. So not only does he want to fight this fight
Alex
right here, turns around in January and defends the 145.
Real BMF in the UFC is Alex Volkanovski.
Yeah.
They will take on anybody. I think if they said, hey, John Jones really wants to fight you and you need to fill in, he would somehow make that work. He would be there. he would definitely get destroyed, but he would be there.
Dude,
What did he play rugby at? 205, 215, something like that?
I want you to look it up, but let's make a bet right now.
Okay.
Over or under 210?
I think it's just under.
I think it's a little over. I'm not sure.
It might be. It's close. Like I said, 205, 215 was where I was thinking rugby weight.
I want to say it was over 210.
214. 214.
What a monster. And he looks
Dude
thicker than a Snicker.
He is a thick man at 215 or 214, whatever. And like he's just this. He's like just a little fucking chode running around, pure muscle.
I don't even know rugby, but I know that it's a little violent with 0 to little pads because
no padding.
Yeah, they don't even have shin guards, right?
I don't think so. It doesn't look like it.
And they get in that little huddle and they get
Oh yeah, and they're just pushing. I bet being super short and thick like that is like the perfect rugby body.
I bet it is, dude.
Like you just getting so much torque
Dude,
out of them ass cheeks and
he's eating
little legs.
all the Vegemite sandwiches.
He definitely eating that Vegemite.
That being said,
if Alex wins, I'm gonna order Vegemite and try it.
I'll try it with you.
I think we can order that on Amazon.
But
that would be my way of celebrating my boy's victory.
I'll take a Vegemite shoey. How about that?
That's disgusting. Can you imagine chugging Vegemite? Because I don't think it's chuggable in its natural state. You're gonna have to like warm it up and.
I melt it.
I'm getting sick thinking about that one.
Anyways, I got Alexander Volkanovski. I'd go with my head and say Islam. He's been training, had Coach Habib, had all the preparation in the world, but that was for Charlie Olives.
It was, which is a totally different fight than this fight.
If you were to look
no one can tell me that Alex hasn't been training as if he has this fight months ago.
I think it was Craig Jones and somebody else. He's training with the gi and the no gi champions of the world when it comes to jiu-jitsu.
He's ready.
He's ready for ground game. Islam has power, dude. He's got back muscles.
Islam's strong. Islam is maybe one of the strongest dudes in the UFC.
He's mountain strong, and he cuts weight like a badass.
Strong.
I just hope everybody makes weight. I'm praying to the MMA gods that everybody makes weight. I'd want to say with my head to go Islam, but I'm kind of tired of it. I'm kind of tired of the reign that Dagestan has had on the UFC because it comes in waves. Yeah. It comes in waves, right? For a while, this team was up, and then everybody figures out how to beat that team, and they fall off, and then everybody figures out how to beat this team, and they fall off. It is time for someone to just have an answer. Just have an answer to these Dagestani
I guess the problem
leg fuckers or whatever.
The problem with it is like these Dagestani guys are absurdly strong. It's just, what do you actually compete? How do you just compete with like absurd otherworldly strength?
Are they strong or are they weight bullies?
Maybe a little bit of both. So that's probably, how do you be a strong weight bully?
You got to be one as well.
Fair enough.
And I think Alex, I don't know what his couch weight is. I know he's been sitting on the couch with us.
He's hanging out.
But
that's where I got my flag from, actually. He brought it over last week.
Wow.
He took my advice. He said, Kyle, you're one of the better analysts on YouTube. He said, you think I should take the fight? And I was like, yeah, you got to take the fight, bro.
You said that?
Yeah, I told him. I was like, man, you can win this fight. He said, thanks. Thank you, Kyle. I needed that. You heard it here first.
I mean, this is my first time hearing it. You didn't tell me he was in town.
He told me he tasked me to keep it on the low.
I'm like 15 minutes away from you. I could have just came over.
Look, when Alex is in town, I gotta listen to him. You know what I'm saying?
All right. See if I let you meet Laura Sanko. Uh, okay. I got Alexander Volkanovski by submission.
Submission. All right.
Put in the work.
Now for the moment of truth. Yeah, I'm gonna take Islam Makhachev. No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking Alexander Volkanovski, and I'm gonna say we're getting a TKO out of him this time. KO, TKO, round 4.
Wow.
Or I need to see it. The damage he dealt to Islam. Look, I understand Islam had like 5 minutes of control time over him. But what did he do with it? I'm so sick of control timing just being a default to victory when there's nothing being done with it.
You got to teach your boy how to get out of a body triangle, dude.
I mean, I gave him some tips.
Did you?
I did. I told him just to, eat your Vegemite and keep some in the pockets. You know what I'm saying?
So he's going to credit you for this win, basically, right? And if
he should.
If he doesn't, it's just you being modest. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, look, man, you don't got to say anything. You take full credit. Your team, just throw me a little bone. Just send me some Vegemite. Maybe an autographed.
And that's the kind of guy you are.
It is, that's what I'm here for.
And that's why I chose you as my beautiful fucking host.
We're couch casuals.
I mean, that really just wraps up the card. And
it's a good card.
I agree with you. It was a good card, and it got better.
It got better. It's crazy to think it got better because it was pretty good to begin with.
I mean, it was one of those cards that everybody was looking forward to, like, regardless. And then all this crazy stuff started happening, and they're like,
boom, boom,
who's going to fill in? And they've had fights where it's fallen out or they fell out, and then they got, I guess, questionable fill-ins. Like, if you go way back in the day where Luke Rockhold, his opponent, Chris Weidman, I believe, somebody fell out, and they ended up giving it to Michael Bisping, who was, like, down the list.
Is this the one where he knocks him out, though?
Knocks him on his ass.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Becomes champion of the world. With Alexander Volkanovski, he's not far down the list of potential opponents for Islam at all.
He probably would have been his next fight anyway.
I'd say.
Possibly.
It's like, because who else is coming close? Charlie got fucking dropped and submitted in the second round. This fight that was going to go through with Hamzat, like I said, I had a good bit of confidence in Paulo, but like he shoots a double on Paulo and he gets taken down and held down. You're kind of like, well, I could see this happening. I just don't see it happening to Kamaru.
No, I don't. It's going to be a weird fight. I think it'll be a weird fight, but like a cool, weird fight.
It's going to be a great night of fights. What are you doing?
I'm going to watch him right on my couch. You going to come over?
Sure. We can make that happen.
Come on over. Sit on the couch. Well, you can't see it this episode because of my flag, but it's right here behind me. I'll be right here.
We'll probably stream. We'll probably stream it or something. I'll figure something out. That is the main card. On to the MMA memes of the week. Kyle, you want to go first?
Yes. In complete tradition with my whole show today, is it up? Can the fans see it?
It is up.
This beautiful bastard, Alexander Volkanovski, deserves all the credit in the world with them big honking balls to take on Islam Makhachev. He deserves it. Shout out Verdict MMA. I don't know if they made this or if they ripped it from somebody else. Who knows?
Dude, look at them.
Either
balls,
way,
dude.
Look at them balls. I mean, it's pretty. I think that's an accurate picture. It looks photoshopped. I'm pretty sure it's real footage in Abu Dhabi with the snow and everything.
It's snowing in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
Yeah, I know. It's my turn, and I know you really didn't want to talk about this.
Oh, brother.
But I mean, you got Nina Agdal. I think that's your name. I'm not even really sure if that's her name. Nina something. Agdal.
Nina something or other.
She's pegging my boy Dylan Dennis. And
Yeah, he deserves it.
yeah, because I think he got fucked enough this last weekend. Now, I know that you guys, if you're watching the Couch Casuals, we are Couch Casuals MMA. We are not Couch Casuals boxing. We are not Couch Casuals professional wrestling. We dabble a little bit here and there, but MMA is our shtick. It's our bread and butter. It's our bread and Vegemite, our Nutella.
It's our Vegemite.
It's our Vegemite. And this is a meme just... I did something that was very blasphemous this past weekend, Kyle.
What did you do? Did you pay?
No.
Thank God. I don't think I'd ever let you live that one down.
There were UFC fights on. And I chose to watch influencer boxing instead.
And what did you get for that?
I was rooting for this kid named Salt Poppy, and he got knocked out. He got knocked out by somebody who was sticks and stones. I watched Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis, one of the most anticipated influencer fights of all time. He's no Jake Paul, but, man, disappointment isn't even the right word. It doesn't even amount to the level of feelings that I felt. And then watching the main event, KSI versus Tommy Fury, KSI being the influencer and Tommy Fury being a professional boxer, 7-0, is now 8-0 over KSI. And I want to say that I'm better than that. So I shouldn't have brought it up. I shouldn't have talked about it at all. But this meme, this is how I felt.
Funny.
This is how I felt. Dylan drops to his back. He's like, "Oh, get my guard." Like that's gonna work. Tries to do 2 takedowns, both of them stuffed. Logan.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Like mid-fight, he goes for takedowns.
Swear.
So he tries to be Nate. And he's not as funny as Nate. He's 2 months too late to do it and be clever about it.
Do you remember the guillotine that Nate pulled?
Yeah.
That was a standing guillotine. Dylan got Logan's sweaty ass head in a guillotine and drops to his back, and Logan's head pops out. It was a circus. It was a shit show. Security ran in.
Dylan Dennis is an embarrassment to MMA.
Because it's like, oh, we got an MMA guy versus Logan Paul.
Dylan Dennis has had what, like 2-3 fights in MMA? Like he's not even had a lot.
2 Bellator
and then he just
fights.
somehow, I don't even know how he maintained outside of just talking. Like that's the only reason he's been relatively, I'm not even gonna say popular because that's not the right word.
This was his guard. He did like that, and his jab, Kyle, his jab. It wasn't even like a. It wasn't even. It was like. Oh God.
Can we stop the crossover shit? Can we just stop it? Unless you're just like Conor taking on Floyd, that's one thing.
The sports crossover.
Yeah, that's a different thing. If we're going for your UFC champ, Francis taking on Tyson, that's another thing. That's going to make big money.
It's a sport crossover.
Can we stop with this Jake Paul and Logan Paul and all the MMA guys fighting them and losing it in boxing? Can we just stop?
I don't think they're going to. Because when in a world where people get hyped for Mark Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk, people are always going to want the reality part of it.
Yeah.
People want to see.
Celebrity boxing was a big thing, in the 80s, 90s? Like, this isn't new.
Even early 2000s.
Like, this isn't new at all.
No.
People just like watching fights, especially if there's personalities to hype those fights up.
Logan didn't do a very good job. I feel like Dylan did a very good job hyping the fight, and I actually believed in him. I was torn because Robbie Paul, dude.
Robbie Paul.
But Dylan had me convinced that he was going to bring something. I think he hit Logan with 2 punches in 6 rounds.
And Logan's boxing is like the most ridiculous looking shit ever.
It's crazy.
And he just like swings.
And he still couldn't get Dylan out of there.
Like when I see the clip of him, like he's very seriously talking to that British guy. He's like, I hit Floyd, and he dropped. He like really dropped. So I just went all.
Yeah.
Bro, none of those shots even hit Floyd.
And
You look like a fucking goober.
Floyd's 50 pounds less than you.
You didn't drop him. Like he was ducking. Like
It's bad.
it's
It's all bad.
oh.
But
And then I like KSI, all right, but I don't want to necessarily. His boxing is probably the worst of all of them. He looks terrible every time I see him fight.
it was bad. It was bad.
The fact that there's an argument that he beat Tommy Fury, a professional boxer, is kind of wild.
I think he did. I watched the whole thing.
Says it. Everyone says he won like 3. It was like 3 rounds to 3, and Tommy got a deducted point or something.
For hitting the back of the head.
That's dirty.
It is dirty. I was on the treadmill. I ran me a little 3.5 while I watched the fight.
God.
Yeah.
How fancy.
I was so pissed. Because it's like, I don't know, man.
Garbage. It sounds like absolute garbage.
It was bad. But I ended up going to Walmart later that night and just walking around watching real UFC fights.
Hell yeah.
It was fun. I liked it. I was like leaning on the cart watching Edson Barbosa versus Super Sadiq Youssef. That was a banger. That was a 5-round banger. If you didn't watch it, I can't. Jake Paul's fighting, I think, December 15th. I don't know who he's fighting. Rumors have had it that it's Uriah Hall. And I've also heard stuff where it's going to be. I've also heard rumors where it's supposed to be Matt Riddle as well. I know.
Oh my god, dude.
I know. I mean, he's got to be charity case of the year. He's got to be, because it's like he's just picking these guys and giving them a bag, but I don't know if that's the way I would go about it. I think I'm gonna get into boxing.
Yeah, you can make millions and not even be good at it.
I think that I could be in this circle of influencer boxing.
You could get some wins.
We'll see. We need to
You get wins.
We need to start
I'll
calling
train you.
out. We need to start calling out other pages. So
We gotta get a little bit bigger before we start making them call outs.
maybe that's what'll get us big.
Maybe.
We
But
need,
do you want to get big because we call people out? Or do you want to get big because we're the best, the most entertaining, most insightful couch casuals on YouTube?
both, but your reason more so, because that's the truth. If you're listening to anybody else, that's cool. But
Stop.
I mean, do what you want, but we're telling you where the real shit is. We're telling
Right
you
here.
on your level.
Down under.
Because why would you listen to the upper echelon? They're getting bags in the back to have certain
They're
opinions.
getting paid for their opinions. You know what I'm saying?
We have straight up what you think, what
I'm a
everyone's
fan.
thinking. That real shit. You want that real shit. This has been the Couch Casuals. I'm your host, Robert Vasquez, with my beautiful host,
Kyle Diorio. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you in 1 week.
see you for the post show. Bye, everyone.